All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is, as I said, been quite a week, quite a 24 to 48 hours with the debate and with the Trump event, which was carried live here on Newsmax Television. And next week is Iowa. Monday's Iowa. That's right. And we'll be here for that as well on Newsmax Television. You don't have to go anywhere else. Live coverage throughout the night. Talking all about Iowa. We'll go live to Iowa as well. But right now we're going to your phone calls at 877-NEWSMAX. That's 877-639-7629. And we have Verdora from Gainesville, North Carolina. Hello, Verdora.
Hi there, Steve. How are you?
How are you? Thanks for calling.
I'm fine. I'm just proud of your news station, all the people that's on it. And I'm glad we finally got somebody got bones enough to stand up to run for president of the United States.
I guess you're talking about Donald Trump.
Absolutely, positively.
What do you like best about him, Verdora?
His guts.
Yeah, he's
because
got...
people call him names and everything else, but anybody stupid enough to vote for the one we got should be put in Gitmo and the keys thrown away.
All right, Vidori, listen, you have yourself a great weekend. Thanks for weighing in, and tell everybody about Newsmax Television, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, let's go next a little closer to home, at least as far as this studio being home. And we go to John from Ridgewood, New Jersey. Hello, John.
Hey, Steve.
How are you,
I just
sir?
wanted to call. I'm doing good, sir. I just wanted to call and tell you how much I love your show. And I'm just so thankful that Newsmax Television was covering Trump's event last night. And I couldn't stand to watch it on any other news network because I know how biased they are. And I know how great Newsmax Television is. But I wanted to say that Donald Trump, I gained so much respect for that man last night with those veterans that came up on stage. He talked about how much money he raised for them veterans. And I know a lot of my friends are veterans. And I just really appreciate what he's doing for us. And for those veteran organizations where they're saying, you know, if they're using the organizations to his benefit, I think it's the veterans organization's benefit. You know, let him use that because the veterans are underappreciated in our country.
Well, right. Well, yeah, that's a good point because there are some veterans groups, or at least, I mean, one really, and one spokesman who I'm not even going to name for that group that has came out yesterday before the event and said, well, we don't want any of Donald Trump's money. Well, I think that's pretty foolish. But they've raised, I mean, Trump himself gave $1 million, raised over $6 million. They got the website going, and there are, I think, a list of 11 or 12 groups that Donald Trump has identified that he is going to contribute money to through this foundation, 100% of the money. So you say, interesting, because you say you gained more respect for him yesterday by him not going to the debate and doing what he did. Did I hear you right?
That's correct.
And why? So why is that? What made you gain respect for him?
Because he was willing to stand up on stage with honorable veterans instead of standing on stage with some lousy politicians like Ted Cruz and Rand Paul. You know, they can keep talking and talking and talking. But Trump, he talked about the real issues, and he talks about them in a way that no other politician can or ever will. And that's why, and you know what, another thing about one of the previous callers said that, you know, he was a Democrat, so how can he be accepted as a Republican? Ronald Reagan was a Democrat, and he always regretted being a Democrat.
Yeah,
so why can't Donald Trump be the new Ronald Reagan?
All right. Well, I'll end it on that question. Thank you very much for the call, sir. Appreciate it. Yeah, you know, there are a lot of people who have brought up Ronald Reagan in the same breath. And if you recall at the beginning of the week, which seems like it was a month ago, folks, when National Review came out with their editorial and came out with their columns, blasting Donald Trump, people like Brent Bozell and others made it a point to specifically separate any comparison between Ronald Reagan and Donald Trump in the lead up to them running for the presidency. So that's open for debate, and that's what makes it such a great world, and that's what makes Newsmax Television such a great alternative and a great place to tune in. And as I said, don't forget, on Monday, we're going to have Iowa covered like a blanket here on Newsmax Television, so you don't have to go anywhere else. When we come back, and we're coming right back, the Malzberg panel with Jim Hoft and David Goodfriend. We'll talk about the trouble Hillary's in.